This is our chairman, Mr. Kankan Nyare, national chairman. Chairperson number chair, women league. Beatrice Onoida. Emily Koboka, member of the women wing. Wanjohi, David Wanjohi, our EP. Nicholas, it's a very difficult name, Makutongari, Chairman Kisii County. Ande Nsioka, Chairman Makueni County. Sande Rijani, Chairman Mombasa County. Then we had the MC who is the chair. That's Mr. Emmanuel. Oh, sorry. Then we've got our vice chair, Mother Dutta, vice chair of the party. And we've got the chairman of the youth wing, Anthony Michuki. You can see. So now I think because of time I will invite the chairman to continue. No, I will give it to the MC, but then
Okay, we will now go to the speeches, and we will have a history of the Safina Party. Safina Party has been with us for so many years. I will call upon Mr. David Wanjohi, who has been a long-serving director of this party, to give us a history where we came from, where we are, and where we're heading.
Thank you, MC. My name is David Wanjohi. I've been the executive director since 2006. So I have part of the history of the party with me, and a part of it with the officials. So my party leader, Honorable Muiche, our chief guest, Mr. Jimmy Richard Wanjigi, the other party officials, General Amagata, Chairman Nyare, and the members. Amjambo. Tumefundishwa salamu za Safina. Yeah? It's an open arm. The rallying call is Safina, Safi. With an open arm for openness and transparency. Okay? Yes. Safina! Safi. Safina! Safi. Safina! Safi. Safi sana. Lakini amweki sauti, unajua Safina sisi tuko kama umeshaisikia kuku imetaga mayai. Kuku inataga mayai moja, lakini the whole village must know. So the whole village must know that Safina is here. Tuko pamoja. Safina! Safi. Safina! Safi. Safina! Safi sana. Mwite! Safi. Wanjigi! Safi. Asanteni sana. Safina was registered after a lot of struggle in 1997. But the party was formed in 1994, but then it was not Safina, it was a trust called Mwangaza Trust. During those days, for some of us who were living then, we know how hard it was operating under the leadership that was in power then. So people had to keep hiding other things. So Safina was hiding under a trust called Mwangaza. But finally, after a long struggle in 1997, just days to the 1997 general election, the party was registered and it fielded candidates in that coming election. Among them is my able party leader who was elected then. There were other MPs, and therefore we got an opportunity to nominate. And being a party that is anti-tribalistic and a party that cares for the less fortunate, the first person who got the nomination was Mr. Richard Leakey. And unfortunately, the regime then knew how to destroy parties. So Richard was poached from the party and joined the Kano government. But we still got an opportunity to re-nominate. And again, as I said about the party, the less fortunate, the person who got that slot was a disabled lady. She was blind, called Josephine, Honorable Josephine Senior. Yeah, I'm sure when I tell you these stories, you are remembering the events as they unfold. So we have a few candidates since then, and we have gotten an opportunity to build political careers. There are many members of parliament who have been elected on this party's ticket. Just those who come off my mind, Honorable Wakabado, Honorable Abdul Kadir, Hussein Mohammed, Honorable Ifrem Maina, Honorable Peter Munya, Honorable Farah Maalim, and many others. So the party is committed to reform. It is actually the hope of the reform movement in Kenya. As I said, it is an anti-tribalistic party, defender of human rights for ordinary Kenyans, and that we seek to destroy the system of patronage and personality cults. These are some of the things that are ruining even very stable democratic parties that we have seen. Otherwise, the symbol of the party is an ark, as you can see. The ark, maybe most of us, empirically, we know that we survived the tsunami of that time because of the ark. And this is what Safina seeks to do, to make sure that this country does not sink, so that everybody, every Kenyan, and every animal, and every tree, and every road will get into the ark. Thank you very much. Asanteni sana.
Thank you, David. Thank you. I think up to this juncture, we have been given the full history of where Safina came from. We now have full information, comprehensive information, so that we can now decide to work with our party leader and our chief guest. I will call upon an official from Kisii, who is also a candidate, and a chairman from Kisii, and an NP candidate from Nyaribari Masaba, Mr. Nicholas, to also give out his remarks. Thank you.
Party leader, our chief guest, chairman of Safina Party, Secretary General, all members of the NEC, and all of you here present today. It's such a wonderful day to be here today. Jimmy, welcome. In the morning I tweeted and I said, we have heard stories, but I think we were yet to see Hurricane JW. We will be seeing Hurricane JW from Kisii, and on behalf of the people of Kisii, we normally call ourselves Omogusi. Sisi, we have what we call unity in diversity. If you go to Kisii, there is no euphoria. You will find everybody, and we accommodate everybody. What we only ask for is fairness in everything that we do. And in this case, I'm very happy that we in Safina, we cherish the same things that we as Ababusi cherish in terms of politics. Guest of honor, party leader, I am accompanied by a young man who is also seeking a position of member county assembly. He's called Yabel. Where are you? Yabel? Okay. Please. we are not leaving our young persons behind. It is about all of us. Nothing about us without us. And when we look at what we are doing in Kisi, as I say, we do not have Safina. 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 Finally, our clarion call as Safina. Everybody knows this, and I would have expected this to come from the SG later on. All Kenyans deserve what? They deserve a chance. Party leader, I know at one point, sir, I used to occupy 7th and 8th floor of electricity house, and you were on 50th floor. And when the history of the party has been said here, I know what it means. We were just spectators, but we know what you went through in order to get Kenya to where it is today. And today, we can never talk the way we are talking because we know there's nobody else looking at us to find out what we are saying. Well, we look forward for our Hurricane JW on the 21st, for today, and in the interest of time, I would want to leave it there and say, Safina! 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 Asanteni sana.
Thank you, Bwana Nicholas. That was very nice insight. Now I will call upon again the Secretary General, Mr. Give his remarks. The first time we were introducing the officials. Now you need to give what is in your heart.
Maybe this time nitaongea na Kiswahili kidogo tu. Tukiangalia pale nyuma mnaona tuko na vijana. Sisi kama sisi tumekuwa kwa hii pate tangu 1994. Na tunataka sasa we have mentored some youth na tunataka washikilie hapo sasa. Nao waendelee hapo. Kwa hivyo hiyo ni kitu moja ambaye ningetaka kusema, alafu niseme pia kile tunataka kufanya ni kitu tunataka sasa mara hii tunataka ikue Safina ikue the third post. Unajua that post? Si mambo ya two horse races. Sasa mara hii tunataka tukue sasa the third one. Na tuoneshe hawa watu that we can change this country kulingana na vile Safina ikue imefikia tangu mwanzoni. So mjue sasa, hata juzi nimeona watu wanaandika kwa social media wanasema mlipuko wa Safina umeingia. Na tunangojea ulipuke. Na kwa sasa tuko na candidates wengi sana ambao wanasimama na Safina. We've got even governors all over the countries ambao wanataka kusimama na chama. Na najua by next week tutakuwa tuko na candidates wengi. So sitaongea sana, lakini nitasema nikisema vile tunasemanga, unajua slogan yetu tunasemanga Safina, tukisema Safina tunasema safi. Tukisema Safina tunasema safi. Tena tukisema Safina tunasema safi sana. So let's try that, eh? Yes. Safina safi. Safina safi. Safina safi sana. So you need to add another one. So tuko na wageni wengi hapa na nafikiri Bwana MC sijui kama you give them a chance maybe waongee kidogo tu maybe, lakini chama nafikiri you will introduce them and you wapatie chance now waongee from even other political parties. Asante.
Thank you very much, Bwana SG. Now, I'll take this opportunity once again to invite the party chairman, the able party chairman, Mr. Duncan Nyang. Karibu.
Thank you, Bwana MC. Safina! Safi! Safina! Safi! Safina! Safi sana! Asanteni sana. Bwana party leader, Chief Guest Jimmy Wanjigi, all members of NEC, all distinguished guests, members of Safina, good afternoon. Amjambo. Asanteni sana. As you've heard, my name is Duncan Yale. I'm the national chair of Safina. And today, you can read from my face, I'm a happy man. A happy man because the dream of Safina that was started by, among others, our party chair, is about to be finally realized. I think I will start from what Safina stands for, because it's a party that has been here since 1994. And some of us young people might not appreciate the tenets that built Safina and why it has withstood this test of time. Parties in this country are special purpose vehicles for elections. I think when party leader, you'll agree with that. But Safina has withstood the test of time. Safina is based on three main tenets: social liberalism, social democracy, and what we call civic nationalism. Simply put, Safina was created to ensure there is a social fabric and identity of us as a people of Kenya. That coupled with individual rights, civic rights, and civil liberties. The second tenet was political rights and freedom. And the final is economic rights and freedom. From the history of this country, we can see we have achieved quite a lot of the first two. Beginning from independence, getting self-rule, that's some form of social liberalization. The new constitution opened up space, introduced civic rights and freedoms. Political rights, like the SG every said, the party leader under their generation have done quite a lot for someone like me to be able to stand here and be able to address people or address this country without fear of any kind. Knowing there is no kind of victimization that can come my way because of the job that they did. So today, I think what we are left with, or where this country is at a crossroads, is the economic liberation. And if you have followed what our chief guest has been advocating for, he's not a novice in politics. He's not a novice in business. He's an experienced businessman in this country, accomplished and successful Kenyan, who we are proud of. Okay? So if you have followed him, even his political activities, he's advocating for economic freedom or rights and freedom. And that is exactly what we as a party stand for. So as this union goes, it is a perfect match that easily fits in all these tenets. So I will just say one thing to our chief guest. Karibu nyumbani, karibu Safina. The second thing I want us not to forget, because we tend to be, or maybe to forget some things sometimes. Wanapati, allow me, on behalf of all Kenyans, to sincerely thank you and your generation for the struggle that you did in this country to ensure there is political freedom and people like us can be able to exercise our democratic rights without any fear of reprisal. Sometimes you don't do that enough. Finally, because of time, I wish to send a clarion call to the rest of the Kenyans. You know we are the people of the Act, and you know what the Act does, yes? Or what the Act did. Come and join us for this economic revival. We have an economic turbulence, the party leader and the chief justice, and we are providing an option that all of us can join in the Act, come together to survive this turbulent economic environment. Otherwise, thank you very much. Na Mungu awabariki. It is now my humble civic duty to officially introduce the new Safina member and officially welcome him to the party. That's the duty of the party chair, and I will not abrogate. Chief Guest, please come to the front, and SG, please join me, if you may. So we shall jointly with the SG hand over the certificate for life membership to the chief guest, after which we shall adorn him with some regalia you will see, because we are the fearless lot. Thank you.
A coffee. Makofi tena.
Okay, thank you so much for that session. I'll now call upon the party leader to make his remarks to us, the delegates.
Let me start by appreciating and thanking Safina's National Executive Committee. Ladies and gentlemen, you were introduced to here are individuals who have stood with this party through thick and thin, and they have remained committed members of the party. Please give them a clap. Second point is to say that Safina's wish from the very beginning, one, the new constitution. Those who want to acknowledge accuracy of history will acknowledge that Safina played a key role in the struggle and the realization of the 2010 Constitution. We remain happy about that. But more importantly, as far as Safina is concerned, the 2010 Constitution was not and is not an end in itself. The 2010 Constitution was a means to an end. The end being the realization of socio-economic empowerment of every Kenyan. That is the destination we want to get. Put quite simply, we want when we say every Kenyan deserves a chance, what we mean is simply that every Kenyan should live in dignity and free from want. No Kenyan should sleep hungry because he or she doesn't have adequate food. And if truth be told, there are many Kenyans who are sleeping hungry. True or not? We want every Kenyan to have access to affordable health care. We want every Kenyan to have adequate housing. We want every Kenyan to have access to clean water. We want every Kenyan to be economically empowered. Kenyans are people who are self-respecting. What they want is a chance to work and live on the basis ya jasho yao. So we want that socio-economic empowerment. That is the business that remains to be achieved. And that is what gives me singular pleasure in welcoming Jimmy Wanjigi here to the Safina fold, because that is the vision he shares here. That is why he has chosen to join Safina. I know, and you know, that there are many other parties he could have joined. Yes. There are many parties. But he chose to join this particular party because of its ideology, because of what it stands for, because of the vision. That is why he has joined this party. And I want to say that we have welcomed him today. We welcome all those who wish to contest elections, either as MCAs, members of parliament, governors, senators, and the presidency. We welcome all of them to join the party. And I, as a party leader, encourage them, even those who want to contest for the president. That is a decision that is going to be made by the National Delegate Caucus in a fair, equitable manner. But in the meantime, I call on all of them, those who wish to contest on the Safina ticket, the presidency, senators, MPs, to get out into the field and begin campaigning. The final decision will be made by the National Delegates Caucus. So, my good friend Jimmy Wanjigi, karibu sana. Some of us who have already said we will not be seeking elective position. But it doesn't mean we are retiring from politics. There are many roles that you can play even without being an elected member. Most of the achievements we made towards changing this country, those of us who are in the struggle that my friend from Kisi was mentioning about the electricity house, we did not achieve those because we were in the National Assembly. It is important for some to be inside. It is equally important for them to be outside. Today, the people who are actually standing up for the Kenyan people is the civil society. They are not even in the National Assembly. So karibu sana, karibu tena, and I say to you, if you will be seeking a Safina's ticket for other positions, don't wait. The elections are in August. There isn't a lot of time. You and the others who may wish to seek Safina's ticket for the presidency, we want you to go directly to the people. Safina will decide, the National Delegates Congress, who to give the ticket. Asanteni sana and karibu sana. Those who have been thinking that Safina is dead, I want to assure you Safina has been complying with the requirements of the Political Parties Act. We've got branches require over 25 active branches across the entire country. We've got membership, we've complied with the law regarding political parties. And yes, there are many parties which have come and go. We fought and sacrificed because of multipartyism. And that is something we hold dear. So we are not going to agree to be swallowed and that sort of thing. No, no, no. Any other party that shares in our ideals, we can share on issue by issue basis. We will remain Safina with our vision and with our ideals. So wale ambao walikuwa wakifikiria kwamba ati Safina imekufa, kwanza alama yetu ni meli. There comes a time when you got to go and refurbish the ship in dry docks before relaunching it. Tumemaliza hiyo marekebisho, sasa Safina iko tayari. Tena kuna wale ambao wanasema msemo, kiona simba amenyeshewa, usije ukafikiri yeye ni Baka. Kwaherini na karibu sana, all of you, for coming for this important occasion. I thank you. So, my pleasure now to invite Jimmy Wanjigi, who is a man of courage, a man of commitment. Jimmy Wanjigi sio mtu wa kubabaishwa, na hata nyinyi mmejionea, sio? Kwa hivyo akichukua msimamo, you can take it to the bank. He is not going to change. He's got experience, he's interactive, and he now knows. I was teaching him the other day, kila mmoja wetu na ile wanaita Damascus moment, sio? Na yake imefika, simeona kwa gazeti. So his commitment, I am satisfied, is completely done. Karibu sana.
Asante. God is good. All the time. And all the time. God is good. Safina. Safi. Safina. Safi. Safina. Safi sana. Asanteni sana. My party leader and all the wonderful officials of this great party, Safina, including the wonderful introduction from both yourself and the chairman. I think before I speak, if you can please indulge me. I have two very special friends that I'd like to say a word. I have right to my left here, Honorable Gindo, who's actually my presidential campaign chair. And I have a very, very good friend I've known for a very long time, who has stood with me through thick and thin in this wonderful party called ODM, called Steve Bobo. I think Steve, we'll start with you.
Safina. Safina. His Excellency, Party Leader, the Secretary General, Mheshimiwa, and all the party officials, together with the beautiful Kenyans I see. Hamjambo. My name is Steve Bobo. I am a politician, I am a leader, and I'm a businessman. Now, there is a saying that says, you can fool people for some time, but you cannot fool the people all day. As you know very well, I and His Excellency Wanjigi, we were members of the Orange Democratic Movement. But I think the whole country saw our fate. Si ni kweli? Si mliona tukikimbizwa? So first I want to tell Safina that thank you very much for admitting us. We come with a zeal, zest, and temerity you have never experienced in your party before. Now I want to tell Kenyans that it is time we all stand up and advocate for our rights. I want to talk to my fellow young people in this country. I know you've lost hope. I know you have not seen direction. But I want to guarantee you that where there is a will, there is a way. I want to tell Kenyans that people go to an election because of purpose. As you speak today, No Kenyan is happy here. And we need a liberator of nothing else but what the party leader has said, the social economic liberation. And I want to tell you, you can never take a veterinarian to assume the role of a neurosurgeon. If your cow is sick, you need a veterinary officer to treat it. Ni kweli? This country is ailing economically. And I want to tell you, because of purpose, we need someone who understands how to take the agenda forward. I want to tell Kenyans we have a sure bet. We have a what? Sure bet. And come August, for those who are failing and don't want to understand, His Excellency, under the Safina party, will carry the day and will be the president of the Republic of Kenya. Kwa hayo machache, as we embark to our normal businesses, I just want us to ask ourselves one question. Today we are being paraded about two horses. One entered in politics in the year 1982. Those are 40 years. The other one entered into politics in 1992. Those are 30 years. They have all served in all big positions in this country. What do they have to show for it? What is it they're telling Kenyans that they will send and take our agenda and our lives forward in the next 5 or 10 years? So they should understand that there is a revolution in the mind. In the economical sector we are going through, we are transiting to the third industrial revolution. These are people who did not even contribute in the second industrial revolution in this country. And we will speak, because the biggest question you will answer, all of you as Kenyans, the biggest question is when one day your child asks you, Daddy or Mommy, where were you when this country was going to the sharks? Where were you when money was being squandered? Where were you when other countries were moving with the world of today while we dilly-dally on issues that we all know are not the issues ailing our country? Sawa sawa. Pole munisamehe, unajua wanasiasa tunakutukupewa microphone. Today is not my day, but I just wanted to pass that message and tell you, His Excellency, we have not yet stood with you. We will stand with you and by you. If there is one person I know who will have a genuine army in this country, is His Excellency Jimmy Wanjigi. Na ndio nawaomba. He's someone who is sacrificing. He's not someone's project. He's sacrificing so that you and I and the future generation can initiate a transition or an evolution of new leadership and progress in our country. Asanteni na Mungu awabariki.
Thank you very much, Your Excellency. Party leader, sir, let me take this opportunity to thank you and applaud you for the legacy you have in this country. I am happy to be associated with Safina today at the invitation of my friend, His Excellency Jimmy Wanjigi. And I came very boldly because I know the credentials of the party leader, Mheshimiwa Paul Mwita. And for those who may not know, we will not be celebrating these many parties if it wasn't for the sacrifice that the party leader made. And I celebrate you. I have come here to be a witness that eventually my friend Jimmy Wanjigi has found a home.
I saw him in the wilderness, and I sympathized with him. And as the party leader of Green Congress of Kenya, I offered to provide him shelter.
Yes, you did.
So that he was not to be random. But today, he has found a home, and I have come to witness. I know one thing about Jimmy Wanjigi. He is a fearless person. And I love fearless people. I am equally fearless. And Kenya requires fearless people. Young or small, old, women or men, please have the courage to step forward and save your country, Kenya. I joined today because I know the voices for change are everywhere in Kenya. Everybody in their heart are looking for change. And we are going to join hands as Kenyans yearning for change. And we will fight to see that change comes to Kenya so that all of us can benefit from this country called Kenya. I know today you have found a home, and I know your big day is coming, Your Excellency. We look forward to your big day, and I know we will work very, very closely to see that this dream is realized for the benefit of country, beloved country called Kenya. With those remarks, I want to wish you all the best as you enter into this journey that will see you crowned and will see you at Kasarani as the next president of the Republic of Kenya. All these young people I see here have hope in you. Please, don't let them down. God bless you.
Pigia makofi. Come on. Now I have a speech. I don't know whether I should read it. I think I'll talk off the cuff. Safina. Safi. Safina. Safi. Safina. Safi, safi sana. Najua wengi wenu. Magia wote. Hiyo ndio mnaijua na tutaileta hapa. Unajua sasa sisi ni wageni. Tuilete. Tutaileta. My party leader and all the officials of Safina, ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank you for coming to witness what to me is a very important journey in what I call the next phase of our political safari. We were in a home called ODM. And as I said publicly for a long time, that was the party that I first ever joined in 2018. Otherwise, I had not been part, I had never taken membership in any party. So in 2018, I joined ODM, believing that our ideology, our policies, especially espoused in the election of 2017, was still in sync. Was still in sync. In 2017, if you remember when we got together as NASA, we talked about canon. And the canon that we envisaged for Kenyans was a canon away from what we termed as the oppression and backward policies of the Jubilee government. I think we were very clear. I also believe, because some of us suffered greatly, as you've heard being espoused here, you know, you young people, I don't know kama munajua historia. Unaona Paul Mwite hapa. If you want to know fearless, let me tell you, that's the man there. In those days, you could not meet like you're meeting here. In those days, you had a gathering of just a few people in your office, and you were raided. So when you talk about the freedoms you are enjoying here, you look at Paul Mwite and the foundation of Safina, and you take off your hats in appreciation for the uhuru you have. Give him a big hand. We believed fearlessly in 2017 that we had to get away from the oppression of this Jubilee government. I was astounded when after we were just here at swearing in, the end of January, that my party leader in March goes to shake hands with the master oppressor Uhuru Kenyatta. Mimi nilistuka. Nikasema, maybe these politics which I don't understand, but I pray it is about ideology. I think we have waited 4 years. And even Jimmy Wanjigi, who has been one of the biggest supporters of ODM and even of my party leader, unaona vile nimekuwa oppressed out at Kasarani. Umeona hiyo? Yes. I was oppressed out. So it seems we did not inject Jubilee with the philosophies and ideologies of Canon. It seems they infected us with a bag of oppression. Ile ambayo tulikuwa nasema tutaki. We are now at a very critical stage in this nation. We are the ones who articulated the revolution. The revolutions that have been there were at independence. And it had its heroes and warriors. We had the second liberation, where my party leader here, and even my former party leader, Raila Amolo Odinga, were heroes and liberators of. Now is the third liberation. And as you can see with Paul here, asemi anataka kiti. He knows. His work in the front for the second liberation was done. Now he can be wisdom. He can be the man we go to ask him, hapa mulipita namna gani? Hapa namna gani? How did you go through this corner and that corner? How did you achieve greater heights? And in Safina, how did you make it safe against the greatest floods? But you can see, he said, because he knows this is a different revolution. It is a revolution that was espoused long time ago, but has never been actualized. It is articulated in the 2010 Constitution he's talking about. Article 43 is very clear on the social economic rights due to all of us as Kenyans. Water, sanitation, housing, education, medical, the right to a dignified life as a Kenyan. It is there. But people have done something different in implementation. Now we are saying, and we are very clear about this as I come into Safina, mine is what you call in Kikuyu an Itweka movement, an Itweka time. Itweka, for those who don't know that word, was when one generation, the younger one, overthrew the older one because life had become untenable. Now I see a very young audience here. Are you happy with the way life is? No. Are you happy? No. Can you see a future? I want you to see it now. I want you to see it in Itweka. You are 76%. You are 76% of the population of this country. 76% is under the age of 37. As my party leader stood, even when you had the first multi-party election in 1992, he stood with a great man called Jaramogi Oginga Odinga, even against his own Kikuyu candidates in Mwai Kibaki and Kenneth Matiba. He has espoused nationalism in this party. That's why you can see the party officials. They come from the length and breadth of this nation. I am a believer of that philosophy. That's why I was in ODM. And that's why, one of the reasons, I am here in Safina. The young people have one tribe. One. That is your young. Your young. Na nyinyi ndio mwenye nchi. Nyinyi ndio wenye nchi. Na mshike vizuri. Because I don't think you understand your power. This is your Itweka movement. And it is beyond the traditional tribes that are articulated. This is your moment to rise up and say it's about us, not about them. Repeat after me. It's about us, not about them. It's about us, not about them. That is where you are. And I call upon all of you in the length and breadth of this nation, no matter how you have grown up, to seize control now of that future, to hold it in your hands and say no more. It's about us, not about them. It's about us, not about them. That is where we are. I am not in your age bracket, but I am fresh. I am fresh. I am not tainted by being anywhere in the political arena other than being behind. I am clear. That's why I came up with the slogan, Fagia Wote. Fagia Wote. Kabisa, tuwe safi. Tuomoke pamoja. This is the time to say, waende, waende. Are you not tired? Kuona watu. They move us in a direction, sasa wanaenda to cut deals in sijui which offices na street houses here. Huh? Where are you wakifanya hizo deals? Muko happy? This is the time for you to occupy your rightful place in those offices, in those corridors of power. If you seize this opportunity, and I believe you will this election, I can assure you this will be the arc that will carry you to the promised land, to the evergreen that Kenya is. That is the symbolism of Safina. And among you, I want to see young Democrats. I want to see you running for seats. I want to see you joining this party. Many and many aspirants. Take control. This is our vessel. And let us use the flags that are coming to Fagia, Fagia, Fagia wote. Tuomoke pamoja. On this journey, let me be very clear. I think you've heard my party leader speak. We have, I understand, an NBC on the 21st of this month. So I will be putting my nomination for presidency of this party. I don't know whether they are the competitors, but I want to assure you, as we are, I don't believe this is a party that will do what was done to me in Kasarani. So those who wish to come, participate, compete, I am a man who believes in competition. After the young people, Kujeni, karibuni sana. But in order to participate, you must be members of this party. The 21st is only in about 11 days. 11, 12 days. Karibuni kwa chama. We are headed for the evergreen that should be the future of this great land of ours. On that note, let me again thank you, all of you, for this wonderful, wonderful reception. Let us go forward. Fagia wote. Fagia wote. Fagia wote. Tuomoke pamoja. Asanteni sana.
Let's give chief guest a round of applause. Tumpigie makofi kama dakika moja. Thank you very much. Chairman.
Okay, thank you, Bwana MC. You've seen where the arc is going. Usiachwe nyuma. Safari hii tunaomoka. Safari hii tunafagia. Tunabeba yote, tunapeleka kwa bahari, inaenda huko. Lazima tufagie wote mpaka tukue safi. Asante. As we expect a tsunami of candidates. Tunawakaribisha hata nyinyi vijana mko hapa, tembelea. The office is at Dupac Towers, first floor. Unakaribishwa, uko wazi hata sasa hivi ukitoka hapa pitia hapo, ukupatie forms, you fill, ukuwe mwanachama. Na pia kuingia mwanachama kama wewe mtu mwanachama wa chama kingine, ingia tu kwa mtandao. Hata hii Citizen, you can resign from one party and you join our party from there, from the comfort of your phone. So usiachwe nyuma kwa kuwa uko na kazi nyingi mahali fulani. Tunawakaribisha wote, na vile party leader na chief guest amesema, hatutakimbiza mtu. Chukueni moyo wanachama, tarehe 21 tupatane kwa NDC. Asanteni sana. Questions? Yeah, so maybe we'll give members of the press an opportunity to pose a few questions. Maybe, yeah, I'll ask the party leader and the chief guest to join me here. So for purposes of order, I will request maybe you raise your arms and then I can moderate the session. Thank you. So you'll start by introducing yourself, tell us the media house, and pose your question. Huh?
Any question?
Yeah, there's one.
I'm back from April TV. My question goes to Mheshimiwa Mwite. Maybe will also be answered by Mheshimiwa Wanjigi. Today is actually the 9th of March. It actually marks exactly 4 years after the handshake between Uhuru and Raila Odinga. Maybe as a country, what do you feel might be some of the achievements this handshake period?
Thank you, Member. As far as Safina is concerned, we would like to place our trust, our confidence, not in individuals, but in institutions. Point number one. Point number two, which I want to make. When you listen to the explanations that have come from the president, it is like he is rewarding people not to cause chaos. And I'm not convinced that that is the way to go about things. People should, of course, associate, because associating is good, but on the basis of what you are going to do for the people of Kenya, all of them, not an individual. So I have found some challenges, some difficulties in accepting the explanation that if I threaten violence, I make things impossible, then you reward me by making arrangements with me. What precedent are we setting? So that is a challenge to my mind. Yes, people can associate, but don't ask those of us who may have a different view to join you on that particular agenda. Thank you.
Thank you, Party Leader. I think I fully concur, not even think, I fully concur with what my party leader said. But let me add one or two things, because some of us were privy to some details. On this day, 4 years ago, that is correct, the handshake took place. And after the handshake, my party leader met immediately after. And I will categorically say here, he gave me a document that had some agendas that they had both signed. Among those were two things I would like to point out. One was that those who had lost their lives, because there were many people that had lost their lives out of police bullets in the 2017 election, would be fully compensated financially, including, as you remember, people like Baby Ben. As of today, that has never happened. That has never happened. The second was the intolerance to corruption. That was an agenda that was going to affect all of us. But it is still in these 4 years that we saw issues like the COVID billionaire scandal. So I don't think, according to my barometer, we came to corruption. Now, I repeat here, just as my party leader said, when individuals meet, if they are not backed by an ideology, a philosophy, a direction, you have a problem. My party leader went to meet without any consultation with his generals as to the terms of engagement. We have yet to understand what was to the benefit of the struggle we had in the journey to Kano. So it's illustrative. 4 years later, we are right here, and some of us are saying, Apana, we have another direction we are going. I think that answers something.
Maybe we can take here 3.
Okay, naitwa Boni kutoka LTV. Nipenda kujua hivi.
Sorry, hebu rudisha tena.
Naitwa Boni kutoka LTV.
Where, Boni, karibu.
Haya, shukrani sana. Nipenda kujua hivi. Baada ya ule mfaragano ambao ulitokea Kasarani, kutokea ngumi, upande kupigwa, kupiga polisi, pengine imefikiana na kinara wa ODM ndio tuna kusameana, na kwa vipi imefikia simu kupiga simu na ongeza mbele mbele.
Umezungumza ukweli. Nilifukuzwa kabisa na wajamaa ambao walitumwa na Secretary General Edwin Sifuna. Ani sawa, yeye hajanipigia na mimi sijampigia simu. Si yeye ndio alifukuza. Sasa niwapigie kwa nini? Hiyo chama nimewachana nao. Nimefika home. Mambo iko safi kabisa, na nawachia Mungu. Hata nimewasamehe. Najua vile wanafanya na ni sawa tu na tunawasamehe. Asante. One more question.
Emmanuel from KTN.
Emmanuel, karibu.
Yes, kwa tumeongea. Labda swali moja tu kwenu wawili. Party leader nimeona Kabando ametweet akisema ametoka Safina kwa sababu ya vitu ambavyo wamekubaliana hapa. Does that concern you? And that the entry of one make another one leave? And is it 1 + 1 - 2? Thank you.
I have been with Kabado, we've been with him. The answer is yes. I mean, a political party would like to have as many people as possible. But you can't force somebody to remain in a party. And therefore, if he thinks it is better to be in another organization, test as an independent candidate, there's nothing we can do. There will be many more people, I believe, many more aspects will be seeking to contest on Safina's ticket. But I wish him well. It is his decision. It is his choice. We can't, we can't force anybody to remain. And as far as the party is concerned, we think we know we have made the right decision in welcoming Jimmy Wanjigi to membership of this party. If somebody wants to leave because of that reason, that is their decision today. So we'll be meeting, we'll be having more press conferences. I'm about to finish my sabbatical. We'll have time to answer many more questions. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
And may I thank you, ladies and gentlemen of the media, for coming out. We thank you. One more. The last one. Okay.
My name is Justice from Daily Nation.
Justice?
Yes, from
Daily Nation.
my first question is, are there other presidential
Candidates who have expressed interest
apart from Mr.
Wanjigi?
The second question
Is Safina planning to enter into coalition with other parties? Or how are you going to win the election and have coalition? The last question, in 2013 when you ran for presidency, you became number 8 out of 8. You got 12,580 votes. What strategies are you putting in place to ensure that you are going to win this election? As a party?
Thank you for your questions. First and foremost, let me be quite candid. I entered into the presidential race in 2013 in order to encourage young people, including your children, my children, and the others, that you don't have to come from any particular family to contest the elections. Of course, I knew that I had not done mobilization, I had not set aside resources. My objective was to send a message to young people and to encourage them to contest the presidency. And I'm seeing the fruits of that effort that I made. Let me tell you the real issue that made me decide that. Back in the 90s, I was going to Nakuru, and it was at the height of those dark days. And I think the then mayor of Kabaranet issued a statement saying, Nisiede Nakuru, and said, so-and-so wants to be the president. That was back in 1990. And I responded, we did not have the new constitution. It's the old constitution which had been amended to stop Tom Mboya from contesting the presidency, raising the age. And I think it was 36. If you are below 36, you couldn't contest the presidency. So I answered back in 1990. that I was over 36 and therefore qualified to contest the presidency. That was back in 1990. You know, even dreaming of contesting the presidency was equivalent to treason. So that is why I contested the presidency in 2013. The Kenyan people had the right to elect who they elected. I had the right to contest. So both the Kenyan people were winners and I was a winner. The fruits of what I did are now there. You are asking what things we are doing now. Right now, it's only Jimmy Wanjigi who has expressed interest to contest the presidency on a Saturday. If there are any other individuals, party members, who would wish to contest the presidency on a Safina ticket, the National Delegates Congress will make a decision. But as of now, it is only Jimmy Wanjigi. I repeat what I said earlier. Any individual wanting to contest the presidency on a Safina ticket is free to begin campaigning now and mobilizing. The question you're asking me, what ni mikakati gani nimeweka, that the party will do. If Jimmy Wanjigi is nominated by the National Delegates Congress, we will support him. He's got his own campaign headquarters, and he certainly, I know for a fact, he is certainly not getting into this race in order to make a point like I was doing in 2013. He is in this race to win.
I think, where is my friend? Justice. Yeah, I think the party leader has answered those questions. Coalition. Coalition.
As I said, you never seen Safina getting into coalition. And our present position is that we will stand as a party. We will stand as a party. We will field candidates for all the positions. Post the elections, we will be happy to work on issue by issue basis with any of the other parties that will be having a presence in the Council of Governors, in National Assembly, and in the Senate. But to be quite clear, Safina has no plans to enter into any pre-election coalitions with any other party.
Asanteni sana. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you.
Okay.
Yes, okay. Safina. Safi. Safina. Safi. Safina. Safi. Safi sana. Safina. Safi. Safina. Safi. Safina. Safi. Safi sana. Kabisa.
Thank you, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Before we leave, kindly, before we leave, kindly, I would like to invite Martha, the Vice Chair, to come and give us a word of prayer. vote of thanks and then word of prayer. Kindly.
Safina. Safina. Safina.
Safi sana.
Ni mkuu mrembo ameitwa Martha ni mimi. Na nimetoka ghetto. Pia ghetto tunakuja kwa dada kama sisi. Okay, nimeambiwa ni peane vote of thanks na shukuru God kwa kupatia hii nafasi leo na tuna welcome our newest member. Jimmy, feel at home.
Thank you.
Na tuko pamoja na tunasema hivi, tutasonga pamoja kwa siasa safi. Tuko pamoja. Tupatia wote kwa siasa safi. Sio siasa kutoka na matope. Members of press, members of NEC, katika wetu wameenda. Tunawashukuru nyinyi wote kwa kukuja na tunawakaribisha tena na tena. Tukikuwa na any event kwa karibu na mfeel at home na tunataka vijana sana. Mavijana mko? Muko? Tusonge pamoja, tuwafagie hawa wazae. Acha niwaite hivyo, poleni leo acha nitumie. Hawa wazae wametukalia sana. Tumezoea kuambiwa ati sisi ni viongozi wa kesho. Tukatae hiyo tuseme sisi ni viongozi wa saa hizi. Sasa. Asanteni sana na karibuni tena na tena. Baba, tunakuja mbele zako kushukuru kwa siku ya leo. Asante sana, imekuwa siku ya kupana na tunaomba Baba utaenda na sisi, usonge pamoja na sisi tukiendelea katika hii safari. Kirudi makwetu tunaomba uende na sisi na utupatie journey masses na tukue na afya nzuri. Amen.
Thank you.